Hello everyone, my name is Ariel Raphael. I'm here with my teammates Venice, Kate, Francesca, and Carolina. We're presenting our final project for software engineering, the Campus Countdown Hub. Thanks for having us, and let's get into it. So, what is a Campus Event Countdown Hub? At its core, it's a web app that takes the place of a static calendar. Instead of just showing you a date on the grid, every event lives on a card with a live countdown ticking down to the second. The cards even shift colors as the deadline gets closer, so urgent stuff stands out without you having to think about it. You can see at a glance what needs your attention now and what can wait. On top of that, the app handles attendee tickets through QR codes, lets people create accounts right on the site, and has an optional Google Calendar sync that pulls your academic deadlines for you. The idea was to build something that students would actually use and not just ignore.
So let's talk about the problem we set out to solve. As student ourselves, we're always been there. You think you have a week left for an assignment, but it's actually due tomorrow. The assignment isn't that students don't care about the deadlines. The issue is that the deadline information is scattered everywhere. It's in the emails, on Canvas, in group chats, on flyers around the campus. So there is no single place where you can look and immediately understand what's coming up and how urgent it is. And the traditional tools like Google Calendar or Canvas do exist, but they require manual effort to set up, and more importantly, they don't communicate urgency. A deadline that's 6 hours away looks exactly the same as the one that's 3 weeks away. So, on the other side, event organizers and professors face a different version of the same problem. They announce the events and deadlines through multiple channels, hoping students will see them, but there's no reliable way to put that information directly in front of the students in a way that they'll actually engage with. So that's the gap we identified. Students need a single visual real-time view of the everything that's coming up, and organizers need. So once we identified the problem, we asked ourselves, what does the system actually need to do to solve it? So these are functional requirements. For students, the system needs to show every upcoming deadline with a live countdown, not just a date, but days, hours, minutes, and seconds ticking down in real time. It needs to communicate urgency visually. So when a deadline is less than 24 hours, the card turns red and it pulses. Less than 3 days, it shows the color of amber. Less than a week, it shows blue. The student shouldn't need to calculate anything. The urgency should be obvious at a glance. So the students also need to be able to pin their most important events to the top, filter between academic and social events, and import events in two ways, either by scanning a QR that an organizer shares or by connecting their Google Calendar so their existing events flow in automatically. For event administrators, the system needs to do something different. Here, so the admin needs to be able to create and manage events, generate QR codes, that student can scan and access a separate admin dashboard where they can see all the registered users, create new accounts, and manage the system. And for the system itself, everything needs to persist after a page refresh. User needs to log in so that their data is private to them, and the system needs to automatically detect whether someone is a student or an admin and route them to the right experience or the right page.
How the app has to behave. For performance, the countdown timers need to update every second smoothly and without lag, even with multiple events running at a time. With persistence, all custom events and user data are saved using local storage across browser sessions, which means that everything stays even after the browser is closed and reopened. For usability, the color for the events changes based on how urgent it is. The urgency states visually communicate priority without users needing to read any text to understand. For security, users can sign up and log into accounts locally, and use Google Open Authorization to integrate their Google calendars. And for responsiveness, the app works on both desktop and mobile, where QR code scanning is done on a phone during events. What changed along the way? These are the qualities that make the hub usable, not just functional. These are the standards we held the build to across performance, security, and design. Performance was the first priority because the countdowns tick every second on every event card. We needed that to stay smooth even with the long event list on screen, so the rendering and state updates had to be efficient from the start. Persistence was handled through browser local storage. Custom events, account data, and pinned items all survive across browser sessions without a back-end database, which kept the build lightweight while still feeling continuous to the user. Usability drove the urgency color system. Cards shift through relaxed, soon, urgent, and critical states based on time remaining, so priority comes across visually before anyone reads a word. This was a deliberate accessibility call to reduce reading load. Security runs through Google Open Authorization for the Google Calendar integration. The seeded admin account is the one exception, and it exists for greater access only. Responsiveness mattered because QR scanning happens on a phone. The layout adapts cleanly between desktop and mobile, so an event organizer scanning tickets at the door has the same experience as a student browsing from a laptop.
There are many use cases that you will see in the demo. First, you would see the user create a new account for the sign-up page and choose regular or event organizer roles. Then you would see the user browse the live countdown feed with urgency color states. Then you will see the user filter events between academic and social. Then you would see the user add a custom deadline and pin it to the top. Then you would see the user generate a QR ticket as a regular user. Then you would see the user sign in as the event organizer, scan the ticket to track attendance. Then you would see the user sign in as an admin to view the monitoring dashboard. Then you would see the total users shown and their breakdown by roles. And finally, you would see a user add another user and watch the admin dashboard refresh in real time. The code that we use to build the app is hosted at GitHub in the following link, which you can click to view. And also, we have deployed our website using Vercel, for which you can click the link to check out the website. We built this app with React 19, Tailwind CSS, and Vue. Full source documentation and commit history are currently available for review.
And now we're going to have our demo. We're going to walk you through our system, walking you through sign up, countdowns, QR tickets, organizer scans, and the admin dashboard. Welcome to the campus countdown demo. And so our app is deployed. So we have our URL, it's campuscountdown.vercel.app. And it's able to be viewed on web and mobile, but for the purposes of this demo, will be mainly web with some mobile. And as you can see, it says please sign in to view your events. And we're able to either sign in or create an account. For now, I'm going to demonstrate how to create an account as a regular user, later as an event organizer, and then as an admin. And so I'll give my user a name. I'll give her the name Kathy. We'll give her an FAU email. And there are some checks happening on this form. So for example, if your password is too short, password must be at least 6 characters. And then also if your passwords don't match, it'll check you on it. And also, if you don't enter the correct email, enter a valid school email. So we're gonna add at fau.edu, and we're gonna go ahead and create this user's account. And so it says account created, you are signed in. Great. And it's giving us a notification that we're able to import events from Google Calendar, but for now we don't want to. Just to go over some of the basic elements on the screen, we have our title, we have that the user is signed in, we have their name, their email, and these are filters for when we add events, whether we want to see all of them, just academic or just social. And we're able to see account and we're able to sign out. But for now, let's just add an event. And I want to add a social event that is going to be the Shep Party. And so the Shep Party is going to be on Cinco de Mayo at 6 p.m. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that date and that time. And it's social. You're also able to scan a QR code to import events, but for now, we're going to do it manually. And we're gonna add the deadline. And so we can see that an event pops up. Some of the components of this component are that it's a social event. It says it's urgent, which means that which is why this component is yellow. It means that it's in less than 3 days. And we have the title, the date, the time, and this live countdown, which is one of the main features of our app, and that we hope that it distinguishes us from other calendars or deadline apps, because it's actually giving you this live countdown, which gives you a more sense of urgency. And the way it works is through React's lightweight virtual DOM. And so what's happening is every second a difference is being calculated between the due date and the date and time right now. And so every second this difference is being calculated and this component is being re-rendered. And since React's virtual DOM allows you to update specific components instead of the entire thing, it allows for this component for a smooth transition between re-renders. And we're also able to show the ticket. And so this is the QR code that's generated for this event. What it does is it takes a JSON payload. It has information that's like, oh, this is a campus countdown QR code. It has the user's name, email, and event details. And you're also able to pin events. So I want to add some more events here. So I'm going to go ahead and import from Google Calendar. And so I'm going to go ahead and select my email. And what it's doing is it's going to import events from the next 50 days from today that I have on my calendar. And so I have academic events. And for example, I have a class exam before the party. I have another homework assignment due after the party. And I also have another major assignment due, but it's in more than 7 days. And so it's more of a relaxed color. It's due in 34 days. And urgent, again, means it's due in less than 3 days. We can also show you an event. Let's say we have a big assignment. And it's due in less than 7, but more than 3 days. So let's say in 4 days. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just say 8 just to be safe. It's a social event. Actually, no, it's academic. And add the deadline. It shows up as blue. Again, if it's less than 7, but more than 3. And also, if we have an event, say I have a big test that is tomorrow. And so we can say it's tomorrow at an hour before right now. And add the deadline, it shows up as red. You know, it's a critical assignment, it's due tomorrow, and signifying to the user that's pulsating and it's time to get it done. And just some information on how this Google Calendar integration is working is the Google Calendar API provides us with a client ID and a client secret. And so this is all a part of the OAuth 2 authentication method. And when we make a request to them, we're sending them our client ID and our client secret, and they're sending us back an access token. And then we're able to use this access token for whatever request we want to make to them now. Now they know, okay, they're authorized, they're good to go. Because this access token is added to the header as a bearer token of every single request we're sending, like the ones to get events. And so, for example, you can see exactly here, this is my calendar, and it got my class exam that's on the 5th, my homework assignment that's due on the 6th, and even that relaxed event that I had that is all the way here for June 6th. And so I was able to successfully retrieve my events from the next 50 days from my calendar. And again, you're also able to filter between just academic events or just social events. And so that is what the user is able to do and all the functionality that they have. So now I'll go ahead, but also before I go, I can also show you, you can also delete events. So if you want to easily delete them, you can also pin events. So if you want to pin the party, it shows up here, top of the list. But what's always consistent is that at the top here, it always shows you what's next. So what's next is your class exam. And then after the class exam, I'm just going to show you that it's the SHEP party that's next. Again, if I wanted to pin this, I could. And these are just some nice features added for usability. So now we're going to sign out. And now I'm going to create an account for an event organizer. And so this event organizer's name is going to be Joe. He goes to FAU. And account was created. So now the difference between a regular user and an event organizer is that an event organizer is able to scan QR codes. And so say Joe is from SHEP and he wants to track attendance for the SHEP party that is again on the 5th at 6 p.m. He can create it. 6 p.m. It's a social event, and we're going to go ahead and add this deadline. So now everything in the UI is basically the same, except now events for organizers include a scanner and an attendee tracker. And so, like I mentioned before, users have QR codes generated for them. So I can even show you guys. On mobile, I have another user that I created. They want to attend the SHEP party. And so I created the event for them, and now I'm going to pull up their QR code. And now Joe is going to be able to scan their QR code. So I have it pulled up here on mobile. Let's see. Bam. It was scanned. So I was able to successfully detect and read the JSON payload and the QR code and see that yes, this user's, their name is Omar, and this is their FAU email, and they kept track. Okay, we have one attendee. So now on mobile, I have another account for somebody named Rose, and we are going to scan them in as well. So let me pull up this person's account. Perfect. And let me add them to this event. So let's open up our scanner and scan this person in. Bam. So we see that the person was able to be scanned in, their name is Rose, and this is their email, and now we have 2 attendees. And now the great thing is that the scanner can also detect if the same person's QR code is being scanned twice. So if I try to scan Rose's QR code again, it says can't scan the same ticket twice. And the other great thing is that it's able to detect when a QR code is actually a campus countdown QR code. Why? Because in that JSON payload, when generating one, we're saying, okay, this is specifically a key, this is a campus countdown QR code. So I can even pull up a random QR code I found online and try to scan it, and it's going to give me an error. As we can see, it gives us an error because, again, it's not a campus countdown QR code. And same functionality for event organizers. They're able to create as many events as they want, filter, all, academic, and it shows you what's coming up next. And so, again, this app's supposed to be a great way for users to be able to manage their events and their time, and organizers as well on campus. And so now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys our admin account. Admin is given credentials by default. And yes, so our admin page shows us some stats. So we have total users of the app right now is 3. Regular users is 1. Event organizers is 1. Admin is 1. Of course, admin will always be 1. And we're giving details about our users. So we have Kathy, we have her email, the type of user that they are, and how many events they have created. And so we also see the same thing for Joe. And one of the actions you're able to do with the admin page is you're able to delete and create users. And so they have the ability to go ahead, if I wanted to delete Joe, I can go ahead, ask you, are you sure you want to delete Joe? It can't be undone. We say yes. And now they're deleted. So now if I try to go back and sign in as Joe, it doesn't work. So now I'll log back in as admin. Wait, sorry, that's the wrong password. Bam. And now what we're able to do is create a new user as well as an admin. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to recreate Joe. Joe at fau.edu, and give them a password. And they were an event organizer, so I'm gonna select event organizer and create. User was created successfully. So now I've recreated Joe, and I can even show you guys I'm able to sign in now as him. So if I wanted to go ahead and say Joe at fau.edu, sign in with their password, I see that I'm signed in now as Joe. And so the admin page is able to successfully delete an account and then create accounts as well. And so that is the major components of our app. Again, it's deployed to mobile and web. And thank you so much for viewing our demo.
That's everything from us. A big thank you to Dr. Argoval and the TA for all the feedback through the semester, and to my teammates Vanith, Kate, Francesca, and Carolina for putting this build together with me. We're happy to walk back through any parts of the demo or answer anything you're curious about. What questions do you have for us?